Yeah, just to give a quick introduction, Teran, Team Acme. This is Devon, our design engineer.
Sure.
You have
I like that title.
Do you have some kind of cool
design engineer? I'll take it.
We should have thought of this a little bit better. All right, we're good. Design engineer works.
What's the best way to brand my vehicle?
You got to really highlight what they do. You know, you can have a cool logo, but if your logo is really overpowering, it's like if that icon isn't recognizable, you got to highlight the main thing. Like if you're a plumbing company, you want to say plumbing. The largest thing is the plumbing. And then you can have your icon above that. You can't just have a big faucet, and then expect everybody to understand what you do. Maybe, they think you do pipe works and stuff like that.
Do they think you just sell faucets?
Exactly.
They're like, oh, my crapper's broke. I'm gonna have to call somebody else. That guy just does faucets.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I think another good thing is whenever we design something, we always try to look at other people. Like if we're doing a plumbing company, I don't know why that keeps coming up, but if we're doing a plumbing company, we want to look at other plumbing companies in the area, see what they're doing. The worst, it's great to do that stuff for ideas. It's horrible to have something that looks so close to somebody else's.
Oh yeah.
So if our market is everybody's blue vans or everybody's red vans, you're like, all right, let's, with their branding that they have, can we change those colors to something else to make it theirs? So that it's when they're cruising down the road, you're not it was blue. I think it was these guys.
Right.
You just don't know. So,
right.
So as far as that goes, we make sure that we're not recreating something for somebody that's the same. They could get confused with somebody else. I think that's it. As a business owner, I'd be you maybe a lot of people don't really think about it, and you're until it's done, and you've already wasted all your money, and you're like, crap, we need to redo all of these because it seems like I'm just advertising for that guy.
Right.
Different name, but so way too close together.
Way too close.
So
color scheme.
So I think that kind of matters for the branding part of it. That's going to be a really big deal. It's easy to go overboard too. So we're definitely not saying to go overboard. Whatever. Like I said, make sure that it's clean and precise. What your messages matters first. Then it's going to be your colors and then your whatever. So, if you're McDonald's plumbing, you don't put a big M on the side of a plumbing truck. You're like, we know what that means, and that's
right.
Wrong.
How does Team Acme help with designing your vehicle wrap?
I think it's our responsibility to make sure that we don't. Sometimes it's really easy just to get talked into hey, I just want this, and you're like, okay. Yeah. And I know you're awesome about not doing that, but I'm he'll usually call me this is what they're wanting to do, and I'm like, no, we're doing something better than that.
Yeah.
So we'll try to we want to definitely go, do something that's going to be good for the customer as well. So, but the first thing, getting everybody together, having almost a brainstorm session where we're hey, this is what we're wanting to do and what we're wanting to try to create. Find out what their market is and stuff like that. So if there's somebody that's just starting into it too, if they've never done really anything before, you don't always got to go full all in either. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to, if you don't really know, maybe you just start with say a maid service, right? Or something like that, where they just go whatever. You don't have to do the whole car in pink with purple and black vacuums on the whole side of the car. As you're starting it, how long has the company been there? How is their fleet established? Are these vehicles all going to work for them? Are they all the same type of vehicle? Sometimes it's you'll be well, we want to wrap all these cars. I'm are you going to use all these? Because are they just cars that you have? So sometimes you're we need to find cars that are going to work for you.
Right.
So in that case, if it was one of those, we'd be maybe we just do the windows.
Yeah.
Just a window perf on the back window and the quarter windows. Everybody can see out. Super easy to peel off. Low cost initial startup. And then that way they can kind of be all right, we're getting some feedback on it. And then sometimes people need to be sold on their own stuff too. You know what I mean? Hey, we're doing it. We got another customer from across the street or this or that.
Yep.
And as that grows, they're all right, I feel more comfortable. You don't put all your money in pay-per-click either. You don't just be I'll do 10 grand a month in pay-per-click and be you get too much or not enough or whatever. So it's good to kind of grow it as well. But also, like I said, if they're newer, just because they have a fleet and if they've never done wraps before, I want to make sure that what we're going to do for them, we can transition between multiple different kinds of cars too.
Right.
From like if we've got Priuses and Sprinter vans and pickup trucks, you're like, how do you get that message across all of those different ones and make them look fluid and together? So I guess that would be a concern that I'd probably bring up as well.
Yeah.
What do you think? Anything else?
Yeah, you can start small, like even just a truck and your trailer. You can do that and start there.
And hopefully it blows up.
Exactly.
And then they're like, I want them all done.
I need another truck now.
I want 5. I got a whole fleet of brand new ones. That's a cool thing about doing the wraps is because we do get like on a kind of a more intimate relationship with these business owners and people that are like starting something new or something different. And you're just like, I'm trying to pay attention because I'm learning something from this person. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap. Or they got lots of huge balls. Like they're just, I don't even know how you would start to sell this. And they're like, we're going to blow it up. You're like, holy smoke.
How does advertising by wrapping your vehicle compare to running paid ads online?
It's pretty cool that now that van wrap is the presentation, like that's the presentation of the company. So when you go up somebody's house, a lot of these companies, somebody's never even been to their shop. They have no idea that if it's nice or it's not. There's, dogs running around the chain link fence or, they just have no idea what the place even looks like. If it's legit, they're all represented by that car. So all the pay-per-click stuff that people are is a pay-per-click with a picture of a wrapped car. So, which we were like, wow, let's check something else. And we're like, wow.
Yeah.
We were like, wow.
It was like plumbing, HVAC. Geez, what else? There was so many.
Landscaping guys, pool companies.
Yeah.
Like we just were trying to go through all the stuff, and every single one of them was a vehicle wrapped car with one of their guys. That's the picture that was displayed for not even like this is the pool we did.
No,
like this is our guy and this is the van. You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty. That's kind of a pretty cool thing. But so the two go hand in hand, I think, a lot. The van is going to last 4 years for $4,000. Pay-per-click, you can blow $1,000 a month easy on advertising on that stuff. So monetarily wise, long-term wise, the vehicle wrap is way, way more impressions for the money. If you leave it on too long, it starts costing you because you got the removal and if you leave it too long, then you'd be painting. But as long as you're in the 3-4 range years, pulling it off, out here staying off the hoods and stuff, you're going to get a really good return on your investment, I think, if you follow all the rules that you should on the wrap stuff. So I think, but I really think that they need to be ran together. I think they work together really, really well. Dude, honestly, some huge companies do partials too. So there's no right or wrong answer. Like, you don't have to do a full vehicle wrap. Like, if you really want to talk about cost effectiveness, you could get into a really well-designed, laid out graphics on a vehicle for $500 to $800.
And you see that at parked out front.
And it's still going to last you.
And it looks great in front of the house.
Yeah.
And then it's trustworthy too.
Oh, yeah. The thing that's the best for like geo targeting for wraps is, so if you're in a small, I don't even know how to say it. Like there's a lot of like sub towns, right? So you have like metropolitan areas. Like if you're in Los Angeles or whatever, and you have to advertise in Google for Los Angeles, you're paying for all of this advertising that's for all of that area. So the cool thing about wraps, like fleet wraps for geo, for around a smaller geography, would be basically, if that's your clientele area, you're driving around that area, people are going to see you there. So if you can just keep your cars in the space where you want to be working, you're not going to get a bunch of random stuff. And we're finding more and more, like as ourselves as well, a lot of companies with gas prices and being just pushed all over the place and horrible traffic and everything else. You don't want to be driving all over the place, like checking sprinklers or something. You know what I mean? You want to check 50 sprinklers in Henderson. You don't want to check a sprinkler in Henderson, one in Summerlin, one in North Las Vegas. You want to do all your stuff as close as you can. So I think that's what Vehicle Wraps does for geo, so you can kind of keep keep it tighter, and you're not ending up being all over. It helps you do that, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's beneficial to just stay in your zone and maximize your area, and then people are going to start recognizing you.
Yeah.
You know, more and more. Like, oh, hey, there goes the
And
sprinkler
then you just
guy.
keep getting the people that in this, it's not about picking maybe the best customer, but I mean, a lot of people are. I mean, like if you're, like say if you're an audio guy, right? You do high-end homes and you have really nice looking cars, whatever, vans, and you're doing all the audio, and you're in Dragon's Ridge over here in Henderson where all the, now we got Raiders and all the big guys, sports guys are all in there, and you're in there at their house, and they're like, oh crap, hey, they're doing those guys' stuff. And pretty soon you're not even geo-targeting Henderson, you're geo-targeting that neighborhood, and they're like, oh crap, like I need, these guys are using them, those guys must be the ones, I'm sure, whatever. So, and then you'll just start picking up those. So I think that works really good with, I think that's probably where some of its best value comes from.
Yeah, definitely.
So you don't really have to do full wraps either. And whenever you drop those down, now you talk about cost effectiveness. That's 1 month of advertising or 4 years of a partial wrap. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like it doesn't even, financially, they're not even close. You just got to, but it is a serviceable thing too. You do have to make sure, because if you let a wrap go and it just goes into the ground, now it's not helping your company either. Now you just look horrible. So you have to, it has to be used properly as well. It's like, I mean, most of us business owners that have been in the business for 20 something years, you're like, I have a website, and you're like, it needs redone.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
So you have to keep up on all of it, make sure it all keeps going. Before you do pay-per-clicks, you get a vehicle that's based whatever, and say you're transitioning from working at a place to starting your own business. Now you want to have that vehicle done, and then because you want the people that you're already doing stuff for that knew that you were doing it on the side, now they know you're official, and they're going to be like, I'm going to refer you to these guys because now I know you're not just a weekend guy. You can do stuff all week, and I got more people I can send you. So I think it would be important to start there. Obviously, the first thing is your wraps, your logos and stuff like that. You want a good logo design.
Yeah, you want to dial those in, make sure they're recognizable, easy to read.
Yep.
And
dialed in, and then go in from there. Go to the wrap, because you need to create a branding before you want to start paying for clicks and stuff. Because just like the guys with, the plumbers with the guy in the background, pretty soon if you branding over here and then changing the brand, so you need to solidify your brand first. The wrap is a good spot, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you're you're driving an old Toyota pickup with a ladder rack on the top with plumbing stuff hanging off and your plumbing hose, and you're like, you got your Home Depot lick and stick stickers with, looks like one of those murder typewriters.
Yeah.
Where
For
they're
your
like,
license
they don't
numbers.
even, it's like, they didn't have all the same font, so I had to put different font stickers to get my name on there because they ran out of R's. So you're like, whatever. So yeah, that would be, you don't want that. You're not looking for the murder for hire
ransom
plumber guy.
How should I take care of my new vehicle wrap so it lasts?
Spray wax?
Yep, they got certain ones now that are made for, I think you could use kind of anything that's vinyl type related waxes. So they make stuff it's formulated different for wraps than it is for interior, but at the end of the day, it's basically the same. It's anything that's going to help condition plastic is going to help condition wraps. So if you're like, oh, I can't find anything that's, I wouldn't use we got pledge for wood and then pledge for whatever, or you can use your Armor All. You could spray that on there, but I would assume pretty much all those are going to work. The biggest thing is going to be I don't know if they formulate them different since it's on the outside to where it doesn't attract all of the extra dirt and stuff. Nothing's worse than when they Armor All your tires and you drive out and it slings it on the side of the car and then all the dirt's on there. So
That's hard to get off.
Yeah, so I don't know if I would use Armor All on the outside plastic. It probably works really good, I would assume. But yeah, it would be nothing worse than getting it all clean, driving out and being like,
yep.
Oh crap. So But at least it would be conditioned.
It would.
It would suck into there for a minute. Then
Yeah.
the next wash, get all that dirt back off of there again. They have that spray wax, like the detailer spray wax stuff, you know, that's like it's a really thin coat. It's not sticky. You just kind of wash the car and then you do a spray. It's like just a top coat wax almost. And it just comes out of a spray. And it's basically something like that. Like the stuff that they're using for wraps it's just basically like a top coat. It'll have like a UV coat in it to help it keep, you know, from burning as much. And then a conditioner to help keep the plastic from getting hard, because that's when they start cracking and stuff. So it's just like a paint job. Like out here, if you never put wax on your car or whatever, I mean, the life expectancy of it is going to be completely different than if you do. So keeping up on that stuff, ceramic coat or whatever, all of it will matter. So longevity wise, in all actuality, the best way to do it would be
Hand wash.
have it hand washed.
Yeah.
You know, the chemicals when you're going through the regular car wash are strong, you know what I mean? So hand washing, you know, more not like a degreaser type like stuff, you know, something that's a little less harsh. It's got a top coat on it. I mean, you really shouldn't need to use stuff that's super crazy harsh, but it depends on what the vehicle's used for. That would be probably one of the things that makes it last longer for, you know, for home
Yeah.
use. For somebody
Yeah.
that's not commercial or whatever.
I mean, yeah, if it's a color change, and then you want to keep it in the garage if you have.
Keep it inside as much
Keep it
as you
inside,
can.
especially out here.
But yeah, for cleaning. And then, I mean, there's all that stuff on TikTok. There's probably like you put sugar on orange and rub it on all over.
I don't think that's going to work. Don't do that.
Oh, okay. There's a TikTok hack for everything. So I was thinking that maybe that worked on a headlight. They were
Oh,
restoring a
okay,
headlight with the
okay.
orange and sugar.
Okay.
That's what it was.
I could see that. I could see that working.
Yeah. And then they cleaned it off and used WD-40 and it made it look like brand new.
Wow.
And I don't believe it won.
You got to try it.
I'm not trying it on anything I got. There ain't no way in hell.
Can you put stickers on top of a vehicle wrap?
So putting stickers on top of a car wrap? So honestly, all of that stuff it's just like putting it on regular car. Like you just clean it off and put it on. It's not a big deal. Some of the wraps, like the color change wraps and stuff that people get they don't have a top coat. This
Right.
is like what we just did on that Porsche race car.
Right.
So if it's like a solid color, no top coat, as long as it's not on there for a real long time, you can get them off if you need to. If it's got a top coat, depending on the type of sticker, and you stick it on there like a printed wrap with a laminate on top, and then you put a permanent sticker on top of that, most likely when you go to pull it off, it's going to pull the laminate off with it, and then you're going to have, it's not going to look the same. So I guess my biggest thing would be like, how dedicated are
Yeah.
you to that new sticker?
There's no
Like-
going back.
You're committed, right?
Yeah.
So it ain't like paint. So if you put a sticker on top of a sticker,
Good luck.
it's kind of like a license plate, right? So when 23 is over and you go to 24 and you put the 24 sticker, you can't go back to your 23
No.
sticker on the license plate. It's done.
It's done.
You can get back to the license plate, but you can't get back to the sticker from before. So if that makes sense.
Yep.
Are car magnets a worthwhile investment to promote my business?
We're going to have two completely different reads on this.
Yeah.
So I like the question.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him go first and I'm going to follow up.
Okay, so I mean, cool concept, but when you're slapping on and off magnets, debris and dirt,
I didn't think you were going to go there at all.
man,
I thought that was going to be my side.
you know, all this
Got it.
continuous movement, you're just gonna scratch up your paint.
It'll be more scratched up
Yeah.
from the magnet than driving it through the trees. The next one is that a lot of the people that are doing all this stuff with EPA and EPA requirements and all this stuff, everybody trying to hit gas mileage, most of the new trucks are aluminum. And aluminum magnets are hard to find. Like actually they don't make them. They're impossible to find. You can't find any aluminum magnets. So Fords and a bunch of these vehicles, they won't stick to them anyways. So as a lot of these vehicles go. But the biggest thing, yeah, my two things were the scratches, because people don't realize every time, like that magnet, like if you put it in your garage, like a lot of people would try to do stuff like that. They'll take them off and they'll put them on a toolbox or a rack inside of their garage, and then they'll pull them off. And then even if you're trying to be careful, you can dust it off. I mean, depending on what kind of work you do, if there's one piece of metal like you're not dusting it off of a magnet, it's stuck. So every time, and magnets don't stick on there in the place that they're supposed to. They go on and they're always crooked, and you're like, you wiggle and you twist and move and try to flop it back on there to get, you can't just let it be crooked. So it's always like, you're like, ugh. It's for these poor dudes that have
HOAs.
an HOA, and they
have to hide their
stuff
business
on their thing, and they're like, I just need a big thing of magnet so I can stick it on my car so that the HOA will leave me alone.
What's the difference between big fleet jobs and wrapping local businesses' work trucks?
I mean, a small guy to a big guy. So only two things really change on that stuff. First is if it's a small guy, and I mean, they can really both start from nowhere, but the small guys, a lot of times when we do those, they don't have something that's already done and established that we're trying to replicate. So the smaller companies tend to take a little bit more energy to get the first stuff out. The bigger companies, after we've got something branded for them, we can continually, it might be a different car, we rearrange it, but we pretty much make sure that we're branding it the same way.
Yeah.
I think the bigger companies sometimes need they might dump more cars on us at a time. So we're like, we need all 10 of these done by next Friday, and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But the small guys, it's the same too, because if they only got one, they're like, look, I can only be out without this for a day because you're costing me money, and I got to have it on the road. We got to be going. So it's just as important for them to get their stuff back too. So I would say, really, other than just the sheer number of like whatever we might be working on between the big and the small, it's really the same. Even when we're working with a big fleet, we really just work with one person. That one person is our complete focus. If it's the owner of a small company or the fleet manager of a big company, like there's only one guy that you're really like.
Yeah, kind of.
That's pretty much you, but
channeling through.
I mean, you're just pretty much. Is that right, or?
Yeah. I was thinking again, another plumbing company that we work with. They're blue vans.
Yep.
They're huge, and then we have the little guy, and it's like I try and give this guy, the same attention as I give the big guys, and
if you're giving good service, you're giving good service. That's all that anybody's looking for right now. How the heck is that still on? I turned it all the way down. While he's cutting that out, can I call this guy back real fast?
Subscribe to catch the next Shop Talk and go to teamacme.com to get a free quote today.